Hey guys, I'm Miss Smith. I'm going to be doing Poets Journal 2.1 with you, so you should have already read our poems. So now we need to go through and answer the questions. So number 1 says, what is the speaker of the poem apologizing for? Well, after reading the poems, I know that he is apologizing for chopping down a house. So let's move on to number 2. All right, it says, what reasons does the speaker give for doing this? All right, well, I do remember reading that the speaker said it was morning. He had nothing to do. And I also remember it saying the beams were inviting. So those are the reasons he gives for chopping down this house. However, I really don't feel like those are good reasons for chopping down a house, but apparently that's what the person in our poem did. All right, so next one. What tone does the speaker have, and what details in the poem help you recognize that tone? All right, so if we look back to this poem, I would say overall, the poem seems to be written in a very exaggerated tone or using insincere words. And that's because chopping down a house is pretty extreme. It's not something that people are going to do. This seems like a very exaggerated event. So I'm going to say that the speaker has an exaggerated or insincere tone because the poem talks about the extreme event of chopping down a house. So that's not something people are just going to go out and do. It seems like it's very exaggerated. When I say insincere, I mean he doesn't really mean it. He's just exaggerating. He's making it seem much worse than it is. So there's a good chance this probably didn't actually happen. He's just exaggerating to make a point. All right, so let's look at our last question. It says, in writing a poem inspired by This Is Just Okay to Say, Coach stresses or plays up some of the qualities of the original. How does his poem show that exaggerated tone? All right, so we know that in this rewritten poem, we're talking about destroying someone's house. You're chopping it down. So this is much more severe or much more extreme or exaggerated than just eating someone's breakfast. So I'm going to say exactly what I was just talking about. Destroying someone's house is much more severe than eating someone's breakfast. So we know that he exaggerated on that event. It's a much more severe event to occur than just eating someone's food. All right, so next you'll be working on Poets Journal 2.2. This one's going to be a graded assignment, so make sure you read the directions carefully, answer your questions, and write what you need to.